Oh, it's day 2 of a month with brain damage and no Ritalin to help me. Well, the good news is, after months of hearing about how I was going to have to go a whole month of January without taking Ritalin, I went to the doctor yesterday. We talked about it probably for 45 minutes, and I'm not going to have to do that, which is a wonderful thing. The doctor said, you know what? It's helping you. Um, you look good. Your 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 brain damage needs it. And as far as I'm concerned, you never have to go that unless something happens. Something happens like you get brain. You have other issues that would cause you to have to take off of the Ritalin. Other than that, just stay with it. So it's early in the morning, and I just took my Ritalin. And I think that's a good time for it because you can see that I'm having a really hard time with the words. I was trying to say something to you a minute ago, but it just wasn't going to come out. And so I'm glad I don't have to do that. About an hour from now, I'll be feeling, fairly good, not my normal self, but that's a good thing. It's the new normal, and that's what the doctor said. You've probably reached your new normal. You're probably not going to get a lot better, if any better. And then I asked a question that I just wanted to share a little bit about. I asked, well, what happened? Because when we were in the hospital, first, I had no idea. I didn't even know I was there probably because I was out cold for a long time, for days. And I don't know that anyone ever really told me exactly what went on with my health that brought me to this position. Could you please explain that to me? And I didn't know if he would, but he spent a long time on that. And he had his little computer there and he was looking at the old notes and what had happened. And it's quite a story, really, when you think about, my inside my head. I had, um, I had uh, blood on the inside and on the outside, both deep down in my brain and my head and up toward the surface. But what that did is it really broke the the vessels that are in there, and so that they're not going to be they can't be fixed. And so that's why it doesn't work right, because my brain isn't put together the way God had made it due to the accident. And that's why it is what it is. And he can't fix it. And I can't fix it, and only God can. And so far God hasn't done that. So then we talked a lot about the various things that happened while I was in the hospital. And I was a very sick fellow. I was very sick. And it is quite amazing that I lived. And then, even when they talked about bringing us back here to Iowa, there were so many things that kept me from being able to come. I had the old man's disease, which, let's see, what is that actually called? Pneumonia. I had pneumonia. I had my head right here and right here. I had what was broken. I had broken, whatever you call it, broken things right there and there. My chest was broken here, 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 and here. That was part of the problem. Um, I couldn't urinate. It wasn't working right. Plus, I had the pneumonia, and obviously, and I couldn't talk because I could say just a couple of words. And there was just a lot of a whole litany of things that was going wrong inside of me. I was deeper and deeper in trouble. But and they thought at one point they were going to have to do some surgery on my head, but there wasn't a lot of that. It didn't turn out that I needed to have that because there wasn't a lot of force that was causing problems. It's just all this blood that was in there, and it was so I wasn't so much in worrying about dying because of that. It was just all these other things that were going on, and obviously, um, at the end result of it is that I have traumatic, a dramatic brain injury. Well, what kind of one do I have? Do I have a little one? Do I have a great big horrible one? What do I have? Well, I have a very significant one, kind of in the middle there. Not the worst, but certainly not an easy one. It's kind of in the middle, and it's a dramatic brain injury. So I bring all that up in this vision, in this message. I think it's good to if you want to go back to some of the videos I made early on. I mean, I sounded like this at my best, and today I'm not at my best. And as I said, I'm waiting for the medicine to take on, and struggling with every word that I speak. But I wanted to do it this way. And thank God I can go back to my Ritalin. I never thought in a million years I would just ever say, thank God I get to have Ritalin. But thank God I get to have Ritalin. But I wanted to do this, not just not to show off my problems, but because when you have problems in life, it's so easy. The very first thing you do is to blame God for your troubles. Now, we even go, God caused the accident. No, God didn't cause the accident. People think that sort of thing, God's trying to get me. No. Did God know this accident was going to happen? Yes. Long time ago, long before I was born, he knew this day was coming. Could God have stopped it? Yeah, I suppose he could have. But I caused the accident. I'm the one that was driving the car. I'm the one that failed at some point um, to make sure that I was going to be okay while I was driving. I almost killed myself. I almost killed my wife. I almost killed my son that was with me. We did completely destroy the car. And he has a different car now, which is a nice car. And I'm not the only one to blame here. I mean, there was another driver and he was going excessively fast. It was obvious. The doctor said that there's no way this much damage could have been done to somebody except being hit by someone that was just flying down the road. And he was in a big truck uh, carrying cars on the backside of it. So this was a big thing, a big car vehicle that hit me and at an excessive speed. And yeah, so should I blame God for that? Blame God that He hasn't made me all better. I don't think that God ever said, well, I'm just going to make sure that I'm like a genie in a bottle and make sure that everybody's okay all the time and everybody's happy. And in the church, I get so much of that I think people just think that God's desire is that you have a good day all the time, you know? I hear people say that, God, just help me to have a good day today, as if God's going, oh, good, he had a good day. I'm so happy now. And that's the kind of things that sometimes we can want. But I think God's desires for my life are a lot deeper than just me having a good day, or me having a lot of money, or having a happy marriage, or a good job, or, you know, a million things that would, oh God, just help me to win this game today. I'm going to play football today and I want to win, you know. I remember when I was in football, we did pray that no one would get hurt. And no one ever really did get badly hurt. But we prayed those kinds of things. And it's easy because we have an enemy that wants us to believe that God can't possibly love you because he doesn't fix all your problems for you. And he can. But you know something? There's bigger problems for not fixing my problem. There are bigger issues here that would come to be if God just fixed my problem and made me as good as I was, or maybe better. And that may sound good to me or to someone else, but there's bigger problems there that can result from that. And I don't know all of them. But I do know that having the issues that I have now drives me to recognize who and what I really am as a man, as a human being. That life is short. Eternity is a long time. That I need to be seeking out the wisdom and the knowledge of people. That I can't fix everything. That I shouldn't even need to have to. And that I need Jesus Christ. Because eternity is coming. It really is. And there's a day that God and I are going to have a conversation. And I can only say, God, you know, I don't think God's ever going to say, why should I let you into my heaven? But people think that. But if he ever does, I only have one answer. It's Jesus. And I didn't follow him perfectly. I did a lot of stupid things in life. But God is bigger than that too. I honestly think, as hard as this has been, I love God more today than I did 2 years ago. And I loved him then. And while there's a lot of things I can't do now that I have to wait upon him to help me with, I need him more. I love him more. I can't imagine what it would be like to be one of these people that just stops now and I don't believe in God anymore. And you can just go to wherever, you know, and God isn't real, and that's it. When we die, it's over. Life is done, and take out such anger and bitterness and just constantly being cursing at God and hating where I'm at and what I'm doing. And it would be easy to hate where I'm at and what I'm doing. But I get to work with my son every day, and he takes good care of me. And I don't have to try to come up with, you know, jobs. He does that, you know. I don't even have to work all day if I don't want to. If I can't work all day now, you know. I can only work 6 or 7 hours a day, usually about 6, and I'm worn out. And I used to work 12-hour days easy. And then all weekend, just work, 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 and be fine. And that was only a year and a half ago. I can't do any of that now. Um, Conflict is a real thing, more than ever before. Just try to go to the grocery store and you can't remember you can't remember what the person said with how much you owed, and you can't remember how to count your money to make sure you're giving enough. I mean, folks, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. I said yesterday when I started this, everything's a thingy in my house now. I can't come up with the words. Can't read. Can't do money. Can't do my bills. I'm tired all the time. But God is close. And I'm seeing him more and more every day for who he is and what he's like and who he is for me. And maybe that really is enough. Maybe that's where I really need to be. And maybe when I think about this 100 years from now, this has brought me blessings in eternity that I wouldn't have had. I'm not saying I'd go to hell. I just get tired of people talking about that all the time. God loves me. I'm never going to hell. He's taking care of me. Heaven was his work, not mine. And I'm happy for it. But there's going to be stuff 1,000 years from now that I'm going to be able to do because of what I've experienced here and now, that's preparing me for something that's wonderful. I don't know what that's going to be. It won't be like the earth is today. But he's preparing me for that. I have to hold on to these truths because they are the truth. They are the truth. It's not a fantasy. And the fact that I have to go through this and God isn't just going to fix everything and make me just gin dandy like I used to be and happy and joyous and make lots of money and do all those things. And the fact that I now have struggles and difficulties and it's hard, and even between, my wife and I, and we get into arguments over things because she struggles now and I struggle, and we have to stop and say, well, we love one another, and this is brain damage talking from my side and hers too. And we're going to have to trust God in all of this. Those are good things. Hard things, but good things. But for now, I'm going to stop. Ask you to become, listen to more and more of these videos and become it's not a membership. See, I can't remember the word. Sign up so that you get all of these messages. That will help me, whatever that's called. Become a subscriber. I got it. And for right now, I quit. I stop. I'll talk again another day. I'm going to go paint for a little while. You can see my brain's working better from the Ritalin. And I don't have to take a whole month without being able to think or talk or anything. Thank you, God. And thank you, Doctor. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you again. Thanks.